What's up, y'all? It's been a while, but I'm back. This is Diligence and Belligerence episode 3. Hope the feedback isn't too loud or anything like that. See if I can. Hold on. Maybe that's a little better, okay. That's a lot better. I can hear myself. Alright. So, probably should have tested that before hitting the record button, but anyways, we're back. It's been a month, and I've decided to kind of switch it up a little bit. I think I'm gonna introduce or talk about briefly the financial markets landscape, what is going on in the world of finance or in the markets. So I haven't really slept last night at all. Actually, I've kind of operating on like less than an hour's sleep, but it's good being up early in the morning. I've been waking up late on more of a belligerence type vibe and not very diligent. Because it's been I'm on my reading break, so without further ado, let's talk about the morning brew. Alright, so the markets are down as of today, Friday, February 21st. So NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow Jones are down by 0.67, 0.39, and 0.45% respectively. Gold and oil are up, and the yield on 30-year bonds closed at an all-time low. What else here? Oh, Morgan Stanley announced yesterday that they're buying the online brokerage E-Trade in a $13 billion all-stock deal. That's Wall Street's biggest takeover since the 2008 financial crisis. I'm literally just reading word for word the article, email article that I received from Morning Brew for you guys to listen to, I guess, because listening is always better than reading, right? So I guess that's pretty interesting. I mean, Charles Schwab and Charles Schwab, hard to pronounce that name, acquired what was it, TD Ameritrade a couple months ago. So I guess this is Morgan Stanley's move, and these trading brokerage platforms are shifting towards or already shifted to 0% commission. So platforms like Robinhood and Simple here in Canada are 0% commission, I believe. And I was watching a video last night on high frequency trading, actually, and how there's been obviously rules and regulations put into place to prevent, was it front running? It's another term, I forget what it was, but pretty much what these high frequency trading platforms or algorithms do is they try and beat, the way the algorithms work are actually quite interesting. So they take news articles that get released, the reports, whatever, that get released, general public information, and there are keywords that they look for, such as recession, or maybe not recession, but let's say for a specific company, Let me think of an example here. Earnings were not below predictions, so below predictions would be a keyword that they'd look for. A bunch of other keywords, fraud, for example, embezzlement, just bad keywords, and they would use that very quickly in a matter of milliseconds, scan an article, find these keywords, and adjust their position accordingly. Or buy, hold, or sell their position accordingly, or short their position faster than humans can do, of course, individual investors and traders. So now that market of high frequency trading has been so saturated, now these algorithms, companies are moving these algorithms towards dark pools, what are called dark pools. That is Robinhood and Wealthsimple. So dark pools is another word for private, well, not necessarily private, but markets in which, because Robinhood, for example, has such a huge market of buyers and sellers for securities, they don't need to go onto the Dow Jones, for example, or the NASDAQ to actually commence trades. They could trade a security. One person can trade a security for a set price from another user in Robinhood's own marketplace, which is separate from, of course, NASDAQ and all. And the way, and this is what I found most interesting, is that the way that these companies are able to offer, these platforms are able to offer 0% commission, is because they charge high frequency trading algorithms or traders I don't know the cost fee structure, but basically they allow them to plug in their systems directly into their servers, and I'm talking about really just directly, side by side even, to reduce latency and be the first to move on positions, open positions available, and take advantage of that opportunity. And that's how they make their money, or at least that's one way. So I found that pretty interesting. That's, I guess, a diligent portion of what we're talking about today. I do have a couple ideas that I wrote down a couple weeks back. Was supposed to record a couple weeks back, but well, better late than never, right? So since we talked a little diligence, now let's move on to belligerence. Talk about a little something we all, or most of us at least, know about. So, topic being alcohol. Now, of course, with alcohol there are certain benefits that you derive from, a couple drinks, and with too much comes the belligerence and, of course, the inevitable drawbacks. So that's all I wrote for this bullet point, but let's talk about it. So it's a benefit of alcohol, well known, that it reduces social anxiety. You're more likely to engage in social interaction, especially if you're an introvert. And for extroverts, man, it's a whole other ball game. You are really out there. Might get a bit annoying even, but hey, depends on, I guess, the type of person you are, or the people you hang out with. Now, I guess that's one benefit, and of course, let me see if I can think of another benefit off the bat. It's good for I guess in a business context, when you're meeting clients, whatever, drinks is often, going back to that point of reducing social anxiety, making good connections or connections you otherwise with people that you otherwise wouldn't necessarily. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it definitely helps with, I guess, the whole social interaction and really creating a bond with someone, right, or a group of people. Now, of course, the drawbacks are, you can't handle your liquor, you act a fool, you blow a deal. The hangovers, of course, which is, I guess, why it'd be great to, for every drink you drink, you substitute an equivalent glass of water of the same volume. At least that's what I try to do, and it definitely helps with the hangover. And another thing, of course, to make sure is to drink drink water, but eat something nice and filling before going to bed. Yeah, that'll definitely help. So, I did have another point to bring up about alcohol benefits. Adjusting the mic here. Well, if I remember, I'll come back to it. Like I said, I am running on approximately an hour of sleep, or perhaps no sleep at all. I don't even recall sleeping last night. I tried to hit the gym yesterday, but it is what it is. I'll probably pass out in a bit. Hit the gym later on. Now, right. So another benefit of alcohol, of course, is the inevitable beer goggles, right? So, a 4 is gonna look like a 6. Come on, fellas, you guys are with me on this one. And a 6 may look like an 8, depending on how much you drink. And yeah, anything can go at that point. And the drawback, of course, is waking up the next morning, realizing what you've done. Yeah, not the, some of us can probably attest to that, but, I guess that's that for alcohol. So, another, diligent, but this is going to be a pretty packed episode. I do have a couple points. I'm actually thinking of saving some of these points for another episode. How many minutes are we at now? Let me check here. 13 minutes. Wow, that was fast. Okay. I might cut it off right there. I think we have covered a diligent portion rather, and a belligerent portion of the podcast. And we covered a little bit about the markets. I mean, just trying this out. I have a little subscription to Morning Brew. It's completely free. It's an email newsletter. Sorry, not an article. I mentioned that it was an article. It's more of a newsletter. Pretty good. It's free. Their content is great. Not sponsored by them or anything. Just giving them a shout out, because they actually have some good content. I like reading their articles. But with that being said, I think I'm going to end it here. If you've listened all the way through to this 14-minute, 33-second mark, well, I appreciate you, and stay tuned. I'll try and upload a bit more, or I will upload a bit more. This was a good episode. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one.